Benji? Yeah.
Yeah, just go back to your question. Why Whitefellow Law and Yappa Law come together? It's because we got one country and we come under one, well, a group of stars, you know. You call Southern Cross, you know. In us, that one, that drawing of the sand, that's the Southern Cross. That's where it comes from. Yeah, you know, that's what we call them. It's like there's a main word for that one, but I can't say it. But we're calling it Nguragulu, means home. Home. It's about home, with home, and home within. Yeah, you carry your country, and the country carry you. You see, if we're going to be under that star, if you're going to sit in that flag there or in that Parliament House, there's that law there saying, yeah, we're going to fill ourselves with all that identity thing of this country, of how we be as people, or I'll say, yeah, boy, children of this country. We're going to be, otherwise, you know, this country is too much on running on this disease called denial. It's too much of it. Now we've got to stop it. You know, if we're going to put that star there, we crown ourselves with this country identity. You know, that's it.
Thank you, Brian. Just a comment. See, with our language system as well, we actually got two forms of language. One is sort of like our normal tribal language. The other one is a ceremony language, cuts across all other tribes. That one language is like referring to Latin as being the major language, and Latin sort of like all other language comes from. So we have that. So ceremony language is the one that crosses all boundaries. It's like a 4x100 relay. Batons get exchanged, and that's how certain items get exchanged. Sorry, we can't really talk about that, but it's the significant sort of process of how that part of the communication happens. It actually crosses tribal groups. So,
granted, but the issue was raised there about 16 different language groups within the southern half of the NT. Just looking for some sort of convenience to allow to create bylaws within geographical areas to allow tribal customary law to be practiced.
There's no legal reason why that can't happen.
No. It's been talked about. Something similar to that has been talked about. A lot of things have been talked about over a long time, but the reality is that the intervention in its laws attempted to stop information about cultural matters going before the courts in relation to sentencing and bail. So that's what the talk might be, many positive things, but the reality of hard white law is stopping information getting to courts, more police. This is the reality. And also not just federal laws, the territory law now says that if a lawyer wants to put cultural matters before a court, they must reveal that to the prosecution in the lead up in a certain format of affidavits. As we go along, white law is making it harder for black law to survive.
We inevitably make it harder for ourselves. I mean, it's typical of white fellas to assume that we have all the answers for those things. And hopefully it won't be too long before our nation bothers to ask, what can the world's oldest living culture teach us about sustainability?
Well, one in every 20 Aboriginal men in the Northern Territory is behind bars as we speak. In the 80s, there were 300 to 400 people behind bars in the Northern Territory. Now 1,200, of which 80% are Aboriginal men. So that's what is happening. In 1 year, we've had 20% increase in our jail population. It's all black fellas. So that's where we're heading.